Hi, I'm Larry Johnson. I am a professor at Texas A&M University. And today we're going to talk about the cardiovascular system, that is, features and functions of different blood vessels and autoregulation of the arterioles.
Now, if you come out of the heart to the aorta, you see a large elastic artery. And that's what we see right here. This is the adventitious on the outside. So this big area through there is the tunica media. And the tunica intima is endothelial cells and the subendothelial connective tissue, as we see there. So what we see here are smooth muscle cells in the wall and these elastic lamina. Lamina are sheets. So sheets of elastic tissue in through there. Also in the connective tissue and adventitious, we see the vasovassorum. And you see some various vessels in the vasovassorum, which are vessels that feed the blood vessel itself. It's too thick to get nutrients from the lumen, and so it has to feed it from below. Intima here, media, elastic lamina, smooth muscle cells in between. That is your elastic artery. Another elastic artery that we see in the lungs, we can see the elastic lamina through there and smooth muscle cells in the media. Intima is just a little bit of intima, and then the adventitious, and there's fibroblasts. You can see the fibroblasts. You can see the blood vessels of the vasovassorum in the tunica adventitious as well, and the bundles of collagen in between the fibroblasts. The heart also has a vasovassorum. You can see a little bit inside the myocardium. You can see this is just higher mag of that, showing you arteries and veins in through there. And so this would be the endocardium, myocardium, and the epicardium, and that's where you have the vasovassorum is actually in the myocardium, and especially in the epicardium. Now, muscular arteries coming down toward the capillaries, you have several layers of smooth muscle cells, a distinct interelastic lamina. That's what we see waving through here, and that's what makes the lumen wrinkled, is because this elastic tissue has shrunken. So the intima is the interelastic lamina, connective tissue, and the endothelial cells on the surface. Below that is the media, and then the adventitious blends in with the other connective tissue around. This is the artery and a vein in through there. And we can see the longitudinally exposed smooth muscle fibers in the adventitious of the vein. Here in the fallopian tube, we see muscular arteries here and here. You see the scallop type. You can see the interelastic lamina very nicely there, which causes the surface to kind of wrinkle up. So that would be the intima, media, and the adventitious. Small vein here, a large lumen for the thickness of the wall, and that's what you want to look and see how big the lumen is in relation to the thickness of the wall in terms of identifying whether it's a venous side or the arterial side. Muscular arteries, we can see here, these are the smooth muscle cells. These are interelastic. These are the elastic membranes or elastic lamina that come in through here. Lamina is not as elaborate in the muscular arteries as it is in the elastic arteries, but it do have the interelastic lamina makes a kind of wrinkled appearance in the blood vessel or the muscular artery. And here we can see the vein. This is the hepatic portal vein here, and we can see the intima is just a little bit with the endothelial cells. The media is through there, and then the adventitious is this portion here with connective tissue and bundles of smooth muscle longitudinally cut. This is longitudinally exposed. Here we see is cross-sectional cut, and this is longitudinally cut. But so this makes a circle around the vessel, and this runs down the length of the vessel. And so we can see that again. the tunica media, and then the tunica adventitia. This is the adventitia because they got smooth muscle that's longitudinally moved. And here we can see endothelium here, and there's a hierarchy of that showing you endothelial cells there. And note that this is quite different than the epithelium that you see on a common bile duct. This is simple columnar, simple squamous. And you will see the simple squamous cells, the endothelial cells, and this vein where it has bundles of smooth muscle in the adventitia media. So this would be the intima, media, and the adventitia out through here. Large veins have valves. Valves have connective tissue with endothelial cells draped over them. That's what we see. And you can see the valve goes all the way across, and the valve, all we see is a sliver of it, but the valve is really like a sheet that will prevent blood from going through whenever it's closed. Here we can see the vasovasorum, which is a blood vessel, little arteriole in the heart epicardium, and myocardium has it too. But that's what we see. The endothelial cells are in face view of endothelial cells and smooth muscle cells of the vasovasorum, as you see. And here we can see the muscular artery in through here, internal elastic lamina. You can see some little arterioles coming down from muscular arteries to arterioles. Here's venules. Look how big the lumen is, odd shape of the lumen, and the thinness of the wall. And then here, the tiny things that we see there are the capillaries. So these are the capillaries that we see. We can see some capillaries, which are the vasovasorum, and through there. And so we're going from muscular arteries to arterioles, capillaries, and then on to venules. Here we see arterioles. Here and here, 1 or 2 or 3 layers of smooth muscle around the endothelial cell, muscular artery here, and we see more capillaries. Capillaries in through here with a couple blood cells inside there. If we look at the electron micrograph of a little arteriole, we see the epithelium, which is the endothelium. Endothelium, we see junction between adjacent cells here, tight junctions that we see, and we see the internal elastic lamina, and then we have smooth muscle cells.
We want to thank the original sources of images and drawings, illustrations that were modified for this presentation. They are the source of the original ones. So this is the end of the cardiovascular system in terms of the features and functions of different types of blood vessels and the autoregulation of the arterioles.